Hey everyone, this is Ashley with the Limitless Mom Empire. I am a life coach for mamas determined to rise. And today I want to cover the topic of worthiness. This is something that I get a lot from my clients. This is something that I went through for years of just not feeling worthy. And excuse me, this is something that, whenever we fix this, part, within ourselves, magic happens on the outside and things start to shift and we enter into this whole new life. So this is something that we control. And, we don't value ourselves enough as, just it doesn't necessarily even have to be moms. It's just anybody in general can go through this. And it starts early. This can start from, childhood conditioning, of just little things. And if you have seen my video on how to talk to kids about money, then you can see how the way that, you talk to your kids about money influences their worthiness. That's just one aspect of it. Okay. And that interferes with their relationship with money for the rest of ever until if they notice it and they can consciously choose to fix it, and things of like, we're not good enough. Maybe we didn't get picked for something that we really wanted when we were a kid or whatever. And like that stuff sticks with us. And, we carry that through our lives. And especially within relationships as well. And this again is relationships with friends, with money, with, our significant other. This really changes things. So whenever we feel like, we're not worthy in relationships, a lot of times what we'll see happen, and this has happened many times in my family as I've seen, and thankfully I noticed it and I put an end to it. But whenever our parents treat us a certain way growing up, we usually, like they say, I think the quote is, like you usually marry someone just like father, because you're so familiar and you're comfortable with that. Here's the thing. If your father made you not feel worthy, if your mother made you not feel worthy, think about what that is creating, right? You might have this pattern of bad relationships because you keep going after the wrong people, per se, or attracting the wrong people because you're not feeling worthy that you deserve anything else, because that's what you've been told your whole life. So this goes really deep. This can, this affects so many people. And again, relationships are a big part of this and feeling, and especially the relationship that we have with ourselves. And that's where this starts, and that's what we can fix, and we have to choose to break them. And when we choose to break them, again, we enter into that whole new life filled with confidence, filled with just security within ourselves, and it changes the game. So when we don't think that we're in control of our lives when we don't feel worthy, right? Because we think some outside source is deciding for us, whether it be, you know, the universe, God, your significant other, your parents, whatever it may be. We whenever we are so lonely in our worthiness, we think that someone else is in control of what we deserve out of life. Oh, well, you don't deserve money, you don't deserve to have a good relationship, you don't deserve to have, healthy kids, like all this stuff, okay, that affects us. you know Whenever we understand and become aware that no one else is deciding this. There's no one up in the sky deciding that you're not worthy of XYZ. Okay. Everybody is worthy. Everybody is born worthy. All right. We did not come to this earth to find our worthiness. We brought it with us. We just kind of lost it along the way through all of this shit that happened in our lives. Okay. So that's plain and simple. So we have to choose to shift this, because whenever we don't feel worthy, we don't ask for what we want or what we need. Therefore, our needs are rarely met. We end up, again, in shitty relationships. We end up broke. We end up, just living a very lukewarm, mediocre life. And we're not meant to do that. And aside from what society conditions us to believe, everyone is meant to, live out their best life. Just because, the, majority of people are not jumping on that train, are not feeling worthy that they can, focus on the ones that are. Focus on the ones that do, because those are the ones that are going to show you the way and how to do this. So again, we have to rewire our brain, and that's what this takes, is rewiring our brain to feel worthy, to know that we can have our dreams, our goals, our desires, and we are worthy of them. Because here's the thing, if we don't feel worthy of them, we self-sabotage. And as someone who has done this for literally a decade, okay, this is what I went through. It took me a decade to understand this shit and to feel worthy of. I had these big dreams and goals, and I was attracting some of them, but I wasn't keeping them because I was self-sabotaging them because I didn't feel worthy of having them. So, it took me a decade to figure this shit out. It takes my clients 90 days. And they figure this stuff out and their whole life shifts. So it's just as simple as rewiring your brain. And, we have to, in order to do this, in order to rewire our brain, we have to accept where we are in our present life and, without judgment. Let's not have judgment for our story. Let's not have judgment for where we have been, maybe what has happened to us. And, you showing me. Oh, there I am. Sorry, guys. So, we have to be able to work with it, not against it. Your story can be someone else's survival guide. So there's no shame in what maybe you went through, or, what happened in your life that has made you feel less than worthy. That is a powerful story, and I promise you that whenever you use that story, it will literally catapult you into your dreams and goals. Okay. Vulnerability will get you everywhere. And sharing that story, again, it's easy whenever you have people over here saying, oh, this was so easy. I made $1 million. I did this, I did that. But what they're not telling you is the back of that, right? They're just showing you the good. It's kind of like on social media, there's a highlight reel. You see this highlight reel of everybody's life and all this crap. Well, how about, then that kind of takes away your hope sometimes, especially when you are, again, feeling less than, feeling not worthy of anything. Whenever you're watching all of these other highlights from other people's lives, it kind of brings you down. That's why, the people that, like me, like a lot of coaches, we show you the scary shit that, we didn't really ever want anybody to know, because again, it makes people understand that, yeah, they can, achieve whatever they want in life. Just because shit has happened to you that has put you in this low vibe place does not mean that you can't get out of it. And that's the biggest thing that is so important, because I could sit here and I could show you that, oh, hey, look what I'm doing right now. Look what I'm doing today. I just made this amount of money. I just, did all this stuff. But that's not even like, that wouldn't help people that are not feeling worthy, right? Unless I show them what actually happened before I got to this point, right? So that's the thing, whenever you are looking at all these people that have achieved XYZ, and, just know that there's always a backstory. Know that it's not always rainbows and butterflies, and it doesn't have to be for you to achieve your goals and your dreams. It does not have to be. Okay. So, the goal is to grow strong enough on the inside so that nothing on the outside can hurt you without your conscious permission, or affect you without your conscious permission. That's the goal. And whenever we have that strong self-value, that strong worthiness built up within us, that is what happens. So, you know, it's important to remember, like the title of this broadcast, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability to see your worth. Okay. I have so many friends and people that, are considered family that have been the people that have put me down the most and kind of kept me in that not feeling worthy place for so many years. And it's really shitty, but a lot of times that's what happens. And it can just be completely depleting. And especially, like, if you think about it, if you're stuck in a relationship that you don't feel worthy, and that's like a 24/7 thing, you're in it 24/7, it's affecting you 24/7. And again, it's just that record player on repeat, and that's what you're believing because it's right in front of your face, right? You're being told that 24/7. Okay, so you got to change the story. You got to choose to decide what situations are serving you and which ones are contributing to your not feeling worthy. And the thing is, whenever we're in that place, we create a lot of competitions that don't exist. And that's draining. Again, we're comparing ourselves to this person on the internet, or your friend, or your mom or your dad or whatever. They're comparing you. You know what I mean? Like, stop creating competitions that don't exist. Okay, the only competition that you need is the one with yourself, and just to be a better version of you, because you are unique and you have a story that is going to serve you in creating your best life. It's that simple. And I promise you that once you start leaning into that and owning your story, no matter how bad it is or how bad you feel it is, it's going to catapult you into your future. So it's just very, it's sometimes hard to accept that whenever we are in that place, but I promise you, borrow my confidence. I promise you that it will change your life, and sometimes, a big fuck you is synonymous to I am worthy, and sometimes that's what you got to do in your life. And I have an article that I had posted that was like, I'm mostly peace, love, and light, and a little go F yourself. And that is the type of confidence that everyone needs to have, because you have the right to decide. If people are not owning up to, basically, look at it like this. If people aren't paying high-end prices, you know, in mentally, energetically, whatever. And maybe even you're someone who, I know, a lot of healers and a lot of people just in general, they don't charge what they're worth, right? Because they feel like, oh, well, this is just a gift, all the things, right? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this, but how we love ourselves is how we're teaching others to love us. How we value ourselves is how we're teaching others to value us. So we need to build up that worthiness muscle in ourselves that we all have. We are all, again, we came to this earth with all of our worth, okay? We didn't come here to find it. So we just got to peel back the layers, peel back these stories that have made us feel this way, and find that inner power, that inner sense of limitlessness, that we can be, do, and have anything that we fucking want in life. Okay, we all have it. And we are all capable of peeling back those layers. So, stop self-sabotaging your greatness. I mean, we sometimes are our own worst enemy. We are all capable of greatness. Promise you, if I am capable of it, so are you. I promise you, as someone who, again, has been bankrupt, has been homeless, has been emotionally abused, has felt like I was fucking hitting my head against a wall for my entire life. And now watching things happen in my life, Okay, so it doesn't matter where you've been in your life, you are worthy. So, you either walk inside your story and own it, or you walk on the outside of it and hustle for your worthiness. And I can tell you that I did that for years. I didn't own my story. I was afraid to tell people what was really happening in my life, what was really going on, you know, because you don't want to look like you're, again, not worthy of anything. You feel like you're not worthy of anything. And that by you just admitting those things, you're just basically confirming in your mind. Okay. And of course, when we're in that space, we're worried about what everyone else is going to say about us. We're worried about, oh, the neighbor down the street, what's she going to say if she found out that I was bankrupt? What are my friends going to think if they knew I was homeless? Like all these things that run through our mind that create this narrative in our brains. We have to change the narrative. It's that simple. And again, this took me a decade to figure out. Now my clients figure it out in 3 months, sometimes weeks, because they implement the things that we work through. And again, your confidence skyrockets. Your feeling of self-worth skyrockets. So, what I would say is decide where you are feeling like the least amount of worthy. Like feel like, is it with your finances? Do you not feel like you're worthy of a high paying job? Do you not feel like you're worthy of attracting a lot of money into your life? Do you not feel like you're worthy of owning your dream home? Do you not feel like you're worthy of a good relationship, of being married, of having kids, of, XYZ? Enter it in right there, anything. It could be anything. Figure out what that is and then make an affirmation. I am worthy and deserving of XYZ. Okay. And write that on, for me, write it on your mirror. That's what I do. Write it on your mirror, write it on a post-it note, whatever, and stick it somewhere where you're going to look at it every day. Put it on the background. Like you could do, I can't really see it. But on my phone, you can't see it. But anyways, down there, I have an affirmation. Okay. So put it somewhere where you're going to consciously read it every day. Set a reminder on your phone. I have plenty of those that say, like, I am worthy and deserving of extreme wealth, success, and happiness, of success, joy, and romance, whatever it is. Write it down, put it on your phone, put it somewhere you're going to read it, and read that shit every single day. And watch how things start to shift in your life. This is where the work happens because, again, we are in control. We decide how worthy we are. Okay. Not anyone else, not any outside source. We decide. So decide for yourself that you are going to, have a big fucking life, that you are going to step out and own what you want. Don't disappoint that little girl that was, 5 years old, 8 years old, wishing for whatever, Prince Charming, like a castle, whatever you wanted, decide that you're worthy of it and go after it. Okay, so if you want help with this, drop a comment below or send me a private message and let's work this out. And this is what I do all day. Honestly, guys, it's amazing to see the transformation that can happen within you. So if you want help with this, send me a DM and we'll chat. I'm going to jump off here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope this helps you. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow.